Listen. There were nights when the silence felt heavier than the world itself. Nights when the ceiling stared back at me like it knew every doubt in my mind. When the clock kept ticking. But time felt like it had stopped. Moments when the weight of life pressed so hard on my chest. I wondered if breathing was supposed to feel like this. I remember the whispers of failure, the voices that come when the room is quiet, the ones that say, "You're not enough. You'll never get there. You've already lost." And for a while, I believed them. I walked roads where hope seemed distant, where dreams looked like broken glass scattered across the floor of yesterday. Every step forward felt like 2 steps back. Every door I knocked on stayed closed, but something inside me, something deep in my soul refused to die. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet voice that kept whispering, "Keep going." Because even in the darkest night, even when the storm was louder than my prayers, that voice kept reminding me of something powerful, something simple, something true. I was made for more than fear, more than doubt, more than the chains people tried to put on my name. I was made for more than surviving. I was made for living. You see, every scar tells a story. Every tear carries a lesson. Every battle leaves behind a strength you didn't know you had. The world may see your wounds, but it doesn't see the warrior that walked through the fire to earn them. And I've walked through fire. I've walked through the kind of nights where the darkness feels endless, where hope feels like a distant memory, where giving up feels easier than standing up. But every time life knocked me down, something inside me stood back up again. Stronger, wiser, unbreakable. Because pain has a strange way of shaping us. It teaches us things comfort never could. It reveals strength we never knew we carried. And sometimes, the storm you think is destroying you is actually the storm that's building you. Because diamonds aren't made in comfort, they're made under pressure. And pressure reveals purpose. I started to understand something powerful. Failure is not the end of the road. It's the teacher standing in the middle of the road saying, "Try again." Every closed door was a redirection. Every broken dream was a lesson in disguise. Every setback was preparing me for something greater than I imagined. Because the truth is, you were never meant to stay broken. You were never meant to stay defeated. You were never meant to stay on the ground where life knocked you down. You were made to rise, you were made to grow. You were made to become something stronger than the storms that tried to destroy you. Look at every mountain you climbed. Look at every battle you survived. Look at every moment when you thought you couldn't go on. But somehow you did. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's proof. Proof that the fire didn't destroy you, it refined you. Proof that the darkness didn't erase you, it revealed your light. Because deep inside every person, there is a purpose waiting to wake up. A purpose bigger than fear, bigger than failure, bigger than yesterday. And one day you wake up and realize something powerful. The world tried to break you, but it only made you stronger. The storms tried to drown you, but they only taught you how to swim. The pain tried to silence you, but it gave you a voice that echoes louder than before. And when you finally stand there, looking back at everything you survived, you realize something that changes everything. You were never meant to stay where you started. You were never meant to live a small life. You were never meant to let fear write the ending of your story. Because deep in your bones, deep in your soul, deep in the part of you that refuses to give up, there is a truth that cannot be erased. A truth louder than doubt, stronger than pain, bigger than every obstacle standing in your way. And that truth is this: you were not made for defeat. You were not made for surrender. You were not made to stay in the shadows of yesterday. You were made for purpose. You were made for strength. You were made to rise, to stand, to become everything life tried to tell you that you could never be. So when the world says you're not enough, stand taller. When fear says you should quit, take another step forward. When the darkness says the story is over, remind it that the story is only beginning. Because no matter what the past tried to steal from you, no matter how many times life knocked you down, no matter how many nights you cried in silence, there is still something powerful waiting inside you. A fire, a purpose, a destiny, and it's still burning, still rising, still whispering the truth you were meant to hear all along. You were made for more.